All right. Good evening. Welcome. So once again, either starting in a comfortable seat or you can be on the back. Taking just a few moments to arrive in your space. If it's comfortable for you to shut the eyes, you might like to shut the eyes. Begin to notice the breath. And just to start, just allow that breath to naturally enter and exit the body, just at a natural pace, not trying to change anything. Notice where you feel the breath most present. Come to notice the evenness of each inhalation and exhalation. Your body naturally may have begun to elongate these breaths, but if it hasn't, begin to elongate the breath now. Filling the lungs fully. Noticing the breath top to bottom, front to back, side to side. And tonight the focus will be around this breath, around the lungs. Really kind of imagining the action of lifting us. If you are in a seat, you might even become more aware of that inhale lifting the chest, lifting the spine. As this breath moves in and out like waves of the ocean. You, in your mind's eye, can imagine what I'm about to say, or you can place your hands to the part of the body that I'm speaking about. First, come to notice the tops of the lungs. Across the collarbones, underneath the shoulders. And each inhale filling into this space. And you might come to notice the sides of the ribs underneath the armpits as you breathe and expand across. Almost like an accordion moving out and in. And coming to notice the lower ribs. As this breath expands the lower ribs, moves the belly out. Might be difficult. You might be able to take prayer hands behind your back if you're sitting. If you're on your back, you'll naturally feel the earth beneath your back. Or if that's just not good for the shoulders, you can simply close the eyes and imagine a hand on the back as you now breathe into the back body. You might even like to just take the back of one hand to the back if that's possible, and one hand to the front as you expand both directions. Allow the arms to drop by the side. And it's with and from this full conscious voluminous breath that we will move this evening. Take a few more breaths wherever you are. Using full lung capacity. If you started lying down, slowly begin to rise up to a comfortable seat. A seat where the sit bones are grounded and the spine is straight. As you arrive, you might like to take a few either neck rolls if there's no issues with the neck. So you might take full rolls, or you might drop the ears side to side, finding a bit of release through the neck. If you've taken something in one direction, make sure you take it in the opposite direction. You might even take a few rolls with the shoulder. Really sanding those shoulder blades down, the back chest lifts. And come to place the right hand on the earth. Really ensure that that shoulder blade is down and back. Inhale the left arm. And exhale as you come over to a gentle side stretch here. Come to notice that breath in that left side body as you once again breathe through those ribs. And inhale to rise. And release that arm down. Shoulder blade comes back and down as you plant that left hand. Inhale the right arm. Exhale over to the left. Ground evenly through the sit bones as you breathe into that left side body. And then inhale to rise. We're going to come all the way up and over to all fours. So we're going to take cat-cow, but we're going to reverse the breath this evening. So I'll just demonstrate once. So it's going to be an inhale into cat, really breathing into the rounded back. And then exhale, cow. So coming through the cat-cow in your own time with your own breath, really breathing into that cat, into that rounded back. By all means, if you don't like the sensation of that reversed breath and you prefer to go back to an inhale on cow, then by all means you can do that. Taking a few more breaths there. Take one more round. You're going to come to firmly ground through the hands. And you're just going to hover the knees slightly. So there's just a slight knee hover, very slightly, maybe 15 centimeters. I'm not going to, so you can hear me. You're going to tuck the chin slightly and breathe into that rounded upper back as you hover here with lifted knees. You want to imagine that inhale is the lift that's keeping you lifted. One more full inhalation and exhalation here. And then lower down. Knees come back to the earth. Keep the knees under the hips and then walk the hands out as you melt the heart down to find puppy pose. Anahatanasana, or melting heart pose. Soften the heart down. In this pose, you can take the time to connect to the breath at the back side of the body, breathing to that space between the shoulder blades. The inhale fills that upper back, and the exhale allows the heart to soften down. Just a few more breaths here in puppy pose. Your next inhale, slowly come to rise up. We're coming high up onto the knees. I'm going to send the right leg out, just ensuring that it feels stable. Left knee stays stacked under the hip. Find length through the spine. Once again, as if these lungs were balloons, keeping you lifted. Send the arms wide. Inhale. Then exhale, hinge at the hips as you lower and hover here. The neck is long. Crown draws straight, I would say, to the front of the room, but everyone's orientation is quite different. Like you did in that cat-cow, really breathe into the upper back on the inhale. And the exhale, chest lowers. So it's almost like a mini pulsation. It might be more of just in your mind, that's the action, breathing into the back, exhale, lower. Or it might be a mini pulse. One more inhalation and exhalation here. And then inhale to rise. Then send that right hand to the leg. Inhale, left arm. Exhale over to the side, finding gate. Just like that seated side stretch, really breathing into those left ribs. Gaze is either straight ahead or it might be up towards the elbow. And inhale to rise. And come to set up on the opposite side, sending that left leg out, really grounding down, finding length in the spine. Arms come wide. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you come to hover here. It's that breath, those lungs keeping you afloat here. Once again, you can be static, or you might bring a little bit of movement into inhaling into the upper back. Exhale, lower. One more inhalation and exhalation here. And slowly inhale to rise. Send that left hand to the leg. Inhale, right arm, find length. Exhale, take it over to the side. Just check in with those shoulders here. Have they snuck up by the ears? See if you can send them down, allowing that neck to be long. Let the jaw be soft as well. And slowly inhale to rise. And then as you're ready, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips as you come into downward facing dog. Taking the time to arrive in your dog as you'd like. It might be pedaling up the feet, bending the knees. And come to find a bit of stillness in your dog. Really let that neck be long, crown drives down towards the floor. I'm going to take it through a bit of motion. So I'll explain and then I'll demonstrate if you need to see it, and then you'll be able to carry on. So it's going to be coming to dog. You're going to inhale plank, exhale dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continue to move through that. And as you inhale into plank, really breathe once again into that back, keeping you lifted and strong. And the exhale sends you back. Take two more. After your 2 rounds, just pause and dog. And as you're ready, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Find yourself in a forward fold. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Then exhale, fold. Landing in your forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need. Let the head be heavy, the neck is long. Stay grounded evenly through the feet. Stay here. You can take any forward fold variation that suits. It might be grabbing the elbows and taking ragdoll. It might be interlacing hands over the back while you fold. Could just be extending towards the earth, grabbing behind the calf. Whatever allows you to find that release as you take a few more breaths here in your forward fold. And ground through the feet. And on your next inhale, slowly rise up. Coming to arrive at the top of your mat in Tadasana. Let the shoulder blades glide down the back. Chest is lifted. Come back to that voluminous breath. We're just going to take 2 rounds of just half sun salutation with a few half lifts to really emphasize that breath throughout the whole rib cage, breathing into the back body. Ground through the feet. Inhale, arm sweep. Exhale, dive. Hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Then ground through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. We'll take one more like that. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause here, allow the arms to drop. We come into our sun salutation. Moving through sun salutation B. Inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, either all fours or plank. Wherever you are, really breathe into that space between the shoulder blades. Then exhale, lower with control. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Choice is yours. Come to a high plank or spin that foot to take warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg. Exhale, step it through. As you're ready, rise up, either high plank or warrior one. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you exhale, step or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, rise up. Moving again, inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms. Exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back, either high plank or all fours. Lower with control. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg. Exhale, step it through, same as before, rise up. If the shoulder blades are really snuggling up and you're having trouble getting them down, you can always come out to those goalpost arms, really breathing expansively across the chest. One more inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg. Exhale it through. As you're ready, rise up. Again, you might like to take those goalpost arms, finding a bit more expansiveness across the chest, sending the shoulder blades down. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. You exhale, step or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sink the hips, raise arms, Utkatasana chair pose. And exhale, rise. Take one more. Inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms. Exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, either high plank or all fours. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg. Exhale, step it through. As you're ready, rise up. And come to take the interlock behind your hands. Inhale as you straighten the arms, send it heart to the sky. And then exhale, dive, taking humble warrior. Really want the head to hang here, neck long. Inhale, rise up, send the arms up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale it through, rise up. Come to take the inner lock, taking the opposite grip. Start to work those arms towards straight, shine the heart. Then exhale, dive, humble warrior. Slowly inhale to rise, send the arms up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the hands, step, walk, or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground the feet, inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Allow the arms to drop. Take a moment of pause here. If you're not there already, come to the top of your mat. Keep, if they aren't already, feet inner hip distance apart. Then inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms, coming to Utkatasana again. Sink a bit deeper. Bring hands to heart center. Inhale, heart to hands. And as you exhale, rotate around to the right. You can bring the elbow to the outside there. So I'll go opposite. So keep it around to the right. Begin to place the weight onto that right foot. Come to the toes of the left foot. Inhale. Then as you exhale, shoot that leg back. So coming straight into a twisted lunge. Crown drives forward. If you'd like to open the arms, you can open the arms. Even twisted, really filling the lungs, breathing those full breaths. If you've taken the wings out, bring them back to heart center. Slowly rise up, taking a high lunge. Then bring arms out like goalposts. Almost imagining that there was a balloon here, lifting the chest to the sky. Then we'll take a few pulses. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This time, inhale, rise up, just enough to spin that back foot and find warrior two. If you need to just release that bent knee for a minute, you can. Shoulder blades soften down, gaze over the front fingertips. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse. As you exhale, come all the way up and over. That right elbow comes to the inside of the right leg as you take extended side angle. This arm can stay up here or it can come here to the earth or a block. Just make sure you haven't just kind of dumped down, still really active in the opening. Inhale, rise back up, warrior two. Then exhale, windmill, take downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat, jump or step the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming through to the other side. So feet in a hip distance apart. Inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms, Utkatasana. Belly button draws back by the spine. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, twist around to the left. Begin to shift that weight onto that left foot. Come to the toes of the right foot. Inhale. And as you exhale, shoot that leg back. Coming into a twisted high lunge, readjusting if you need. If you'd like to open the wingtips here, you can. Noticing the breath, still smooth and steady. Slowly inhale, come back through to center. Oops. Draw those arms out like goalposts. Shine the heart up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Rise up on the inhale, then on the exhale, spin that back foot so that you come to find warrior two on the other side. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come all the way up and over, finding extended side angle. That shoulder is feeling really sticky, and when you stick it up here, it's really just wanting to come up to the ear. Take it front and around, bringing a bit more openness here. Inhale, rise back up, warrior two. Exhale, spin, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Exhale, jump or step the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take that one more time, but I promise we'll take it a lot quicker and we'll have a little flow between our reverse warrior and our extended side angle. So inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, around to the right. Weight on the right foot, toes of the left foot, inhale. Exhale, shoot that foot back, coming to a twisted high lunge. Inhale, back to center. Inhale, lift up just enough to spin to find warrior two. And then we'll take a little dance here with our our reverse warrior and extended side angle. So flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angles. Inhale, reverse. Breathing into the left side body. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. This time, inhale, warrior two. Then spin to plant the hands, find downward facing dog. Exhale, step or jump the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Moving one more time through our last one. Inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, take it around to the left. Place the weight on the left foot, hover that right foot. Inhale. Exhale, shoot it back. Inhale, come back through the high lunge. Inhale, lift up, spin that back foot, find warrior two. Take the time to just check down, front heel in line with back arch. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. 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 Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands, downward facing dog. From here, the choice is yours. If you want to take one last vinyasa, taking it through a lower and then an up dog or cobra, take that now. Stay in dog or rest in child's pose. Whichever option you're choosing, taking 4 to 5 more really voluminous full breaths. If you're wanting to move with me, make your way to downward facing dog. Exhale, step or jump the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more standing pose. We're going to take a balancing pose, and I'll give you a choice, and I'll tell you why you might take the two choices. So it's either going to be warrior three or Dekasana, which is basically the same pose, but you stay with a bent knee. So warrior three, this leg stays straight, but the knee is not locking. So you just want to be aware that you're not locking out the knee. In this, we want the hip point facing down. So if the hip tends to roll, you're going to want to keep a bend in the knee. The other reason you might bend that knee is sometimes the pose is just a little more accessible with that bent knee, and it gives you that idea of that buoyancy, a little bit more movement instead of rigid. And there's nothing wrong with reaching straight and being really firm and strong and straight, but the bent knee sometimes allows just for a little bit more movement and flexibility. One is not better than the other. So we'll start by grounding into the right foot. And the knee can be straight or it can be bent. Either way, all four corners of that foot are making contact with the earth. Okay, so either with that straight leg or the bent leg, you're going to start to slowly extend that left leg behind you, extend the right arms forward. Gaze is down. Spine is long, and that inhale is keeping you lifted, like 2 helium balloons on your back, keeping you lifted here. You reach and breathe. On an inhale, slowly rise up. Next breath, take an inhale through the nose. Pause and exhale through the mouth. Letting it go. Setting up on the other side. So again, choice is completely yours, bent or straight leg. Ground through all 4 corners of that foot and begin to send that opposite leg behind you. Arms reach. Arms can stay prayer at heart center as well, or out to the side. Apologies if you can hear my crying child. A few more breaths. Your next inhale, slowly rise up. Release. Take one more breath like we did before. Inhale through the nose. And let it go through the mouth. I'm going to come to a seat. Not for long. We're going to take Navasana or boat pose. I'm just going to move that back just a little bit. I'm going to come to rock on to the sit pose. So in that last pose, we were really imagining the breath here keeping us lifted. Now we're going to use the breath in here to keep us lifted. So once again, you can start with toes on the floor, hands behind thighs. Send the shoulders down and back, chest lifts. Take a breath here. Then you might like to lift the feet, kind of turn to an angle. And if you want more, you can come here. Inhale, lifts you. You might even find you naturally have these little pulses because you're taking such a big breath that it lifts you. You can always extend the legs towards straight as well. Exhale, release. Now, I often do stuff on the belly as well for the idea of this lift and lower, but I tend to do a lot of that normally in our classes. So I'm actually going to skip any movement on the belly today to allow just 3 minutes of a little creative play if you're up for it. Otherwise, you'll work in a low squat. So the play is playing with crow pose. So I will just keep building on. If you do have a block, sometimes it's nice to have feet on a block, but you certainly don't, and I'm gonna not today. So this is where you're gonna work any variation of your low squat. If you don't wanna put any weight on the wrists or try this, you are gonna have a little play with me. Hands firmly plant. Arms kind of that energetic as if you were going to do a chaturanga. So the knees come to the top of the arm. Okay. And then you might just play with shifting weight back and forth. Once your hands are really wide and the whole hand is planting, not just the wrist, fingertips are working as well. I'll kind of come on an angle a bit. Maybe this is a bit better. And if you like that, you might play with lifting one foot and the other. I'm going to look at you because I'm speaking, but I suggest you just keep your focus down. You don't need to see me. You can just play and explore. And if you can lift one foot, then the other foot, you might play with lifting both feet. Maybe even bringing toes together. The whole time remembering to breathe and to use that breath to keep you lifted. And once you've had enough of that, either of your squat or a little bit of play, you can release the rest. And in class, the reason I often say a block is helpful, it just gets your hips lifted that much higher, so you don't have as much pulling up of the feet to do. Give the wrist a little roll. If you don't have them, just being really mindful of the weight you push, you put the backs of the hands to the earth. And you can play with just releasing a bit of weight forward and back. And we'll come to bring the legs straight out in front for staff pose or Dandasana. And I won't have you keep moving your hands around, but just in your mind, just noticing where the breath is. It may have gone shallow. See if you can come back to that expansive breath, filling out through the sides, front to back, top to bottom. And if you're wanting to fold today, I'm going to guide us together. I'm going to use the breath a bit more. So we're not going to just fold or slowly fold. We're just going to do a few pulses up and down. Okay. But if a fold just isn't for you today, maybe the hips are tight, the legs are tight. If folding makes you round in, then stay here and really work with the breath and a lifted chest. If you are folding, inhale the spine long. And exhale, fold slightly. Inhale, push into the fingertips, find the leg. And exhale, fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. You might, in your own time, take another few of those, or you might arrive here in your fold. With each inhale, expanding long. And with each exhale, softening down. You've chosen to stay upright with each inhale, growing tall. With each exhale, grounding down, and shoulder blades soften down as well. Soften the forehead and the jaw. Slowly on an inhale, rise up. Pausing upright. We're going to come into the twist. And just like the fold, we're going to use the breath to move the twist. So a good rule of thumb here is we really don't want our neck doing the work. Sometimes when we start a twist, we just start yanking the neck around. So we really want to be lifted, and the neck will be the last thing that moves. So for this twist, we're going to come to take the right foot over the left. So left foot stays active on the ground. Hips are grounded here. We'll just pause here as we find length in the spine. You're going to bring that right arm slightly in behind. So already the chest is starting to open. Inhale the left arm. And exhale, moving from these ribs and not from the neck. Start to move around into your twist. Inhale, length. Exhale, twist. And that action continues. Inhaling the length. Exhale, twist. And even when you've reached as far as you can go, still keeping the action in your head, even if you're not physically moving anymore. Inhaling the length, exhaling the twist. And you can move the head once you've reached the edge, once you've fully twisted the torso to your capacity today. Just check in that you haven't started to kind of slant back. Really push into that right arm to make sure that you're still staying really upright here. Take one more inhalation and exhalation. And then slowly come back to center, unwanted. Pausing here. And then come to change the cross of the leg. Take the time to ground through the sit bones. Become tall through the spine. Bring that left arm in behind. Inhale the right arm. And then exhale, moving from these ribs. Come around into your twist. Inhaling long. Exhale, twist. Smooth, steady breath. Check in, right foot should still be flexed. One more inhalation and exhalation here. And slowly come back through the center. Across the leg. Place the arms behind you. Just gonna do a windscreen, but just a slightly different variation. So drop one leg, then the other. And then open out wide, and then the other. Just allows a little bit more hip opening as well as lower as well as movement in the lower back. And then you can roll all the way onto your back. Allow the shoulder blades to rest heavy here. I'm going to sit up to talk to you, but stay on your back as you feel the heaviness of the shoulder blade, but still feeling the lift of the chest on the inhale. And come to bring feet inner hip distance apart. Feet in towards the buttocks. And as you're ready, inhale, lift the hips to come up to bridge. If you'd like, you can snuggle the shoulder blades down the back and take the interlock of the hands beneath you. And in this position, you can really send that breath to the belly. Just like the focus in our other poses, imagining that this breath was what was keeping you lifted. As you soften through the buttocks, soften through the hips. Lifted and light. If you've taken the interlock of the hands, take them back out to the side. Take one more inhalation up here and exhale lower. Either stay as you are, or you might like to walk the feet out a bit wider and let the knees come to touch. Then come to draw the knees into the chest. Allow the arms to come wide, and as you exhale, drop your knees over to the right, coming into your twist. We won't hold this twist for as long as we usually do because we took quite a deep twist in a seated position. It's just a nice, comforting release. The lower back here. And come to draw the knees back through the center, pausing for as long as you need before dropping the knees over to the other side. Draw the knees back through the center, giving them one more squeeze. And you can come to bring soles of the feet together as you take a reclined Supta Baddha Konasana. Just ensure that the shoulder blades are down the back so that your neck is long. I invite you to connect with your breath one more time. It could be placing hands on the belly, it could be hands on the chest, it might be hands on the ribs, it could be one hand on the chest and one on the belly. As you just feel this rhythmic expansion. Changing nothing, just noticing the breath. And the choice is now yours on a lot of levels. You might like to turn off your video and take an extra long Shavasana. Otherwise, you can set yourself up for Shavasana now. And I will talk to you for about another minute to settle you into that Shavasana and give you about 4 to 5 minutes before I say goodbye and turn off the video. But if time affords, you might really like to shut the video off now and give yourself an extra long Shavasana. Either way, I encourage you to make yourself as comfortable as possible. Might even feel nice if you have a cushion around, a cushion under the knee. If it's cold, you might put on extra layers of clothing or a blanket. And I invite you to take 3 breaths with a really big inhalation. A nice pause at the top. And exhale through the mouth. And each time you exhale, soften down, allowing the earth to fully support your weight. As if you were drifting on a calm ocean. Just a gentle rise and fall of the breath. But everything else is still. Muscles soft, bones heavy. So you rest here. staying exactly as you are. Begin to draw your awareness back in to the space around you. Noticing sounds, temperature, texture. And back to notice the breath. You might like to invite a bit of movement into fingertips, toe tips. Maybe even taking a full body yawn, extending the arms overhead. And as you're ready, make your way onto your side. Resting heavy here. Slowly come to push into the hands to rise up, making your way up to a comfortable seat. Allow the sit bones to ground. Crown reaches to the sky. Chest lift. And the arms by the side. As you inhale, extend the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a big inhale here. Inhaling heart to hands. Exhale, bow, chin to chest. Acknowledging your commitment to show up, to arrive here on the mat, to explore the buoyancy of our breath. Namaste.